To you on this Friday, and we have got Miss Sherry Raines that snuck over here today.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Will you wind? Made me feel sorry for you.
I'm sorry. Trump's in trouble. Trump's in trouble. He's in bad trouble now.
Why's that?
Putin has endorsed Carmela or Camellia or whatever her name is. Putin has endorsed. What do you call her? Kamala.
Kamala, I believe.
Yeah. So I guess it's Putin Carmela now. That's really gonna hurt us.
Does his endorsement mean anything?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
With all the communists out there now, they'll flock to him just like Pat. He's like, look at the grin on his face. He's excited. He's just grinning.
Yeah,
grinning.
He looks real excited over there.
Reason I'm grinning is I get 2 days off.
Is that what it is?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, Harry, you must have wrung Harry out. He was dragging coming out of here, saying, thank God it's Friday and all that stuff.
Harry gets carried away sometimes. You got to corral him back in a little bit. So.
Well, I'm so happy to be here, Stephen.
I'm glad you came.
Hey,
You
I
laid out
wanted
on
to
me
shout out
yesterday.
to Ronnie Maxwell. He, I guess, tried to call me yesterday, and I missed his call. Sorry, Ronnie, I was in a meeting.
Right.
So call me back today if you need to talk to me. I'll try to answer that phone.
Yeah, we got somebody on the phone already this morning.
We do. We got Mike.
Mike. Good morning, Mike. Where are you calling from?
Over here in Blairsville.
Well, what's on your
was,
mind?
Well, I was listening to Harry carry on this morning about the Trump stuff being probably inferring everything's made in China because he's a bum. Well, I got a hat and a shirt, and they're both made in America.
Made in America.
Thank you, Mike.
Go.
It's very, very helpful to correct Harry when he gets straying off in Never Never Land.
Well, with the craziness going on, and that's what it is, craziness. You were inferring, or he was inferring stuff, and they need to stay away from that because a lot of people, because I took it like, well, that's because I'm a pro-American. I buy as much American as I can,
right,
even if it costs me an extra dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at those things, and you should not infer stuff like that that's not true. Trump has enough crap on him as it is.
Well, that's the thing, though. Harry hadn't got any facts because there's none out there on what he's talking about. He just kind of.
Now, to be fair, Harry's a lot like Stephen in that he just reads the headline and doesn't get any further into the article.
Right.
Well, Putin's endorsing Kamala. What else? I mean, what else do you need to know?
I think that's good for her.
What do you think about Putin endorsing Kamala?
I think
well, it depends on what the rest of the story says.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Just let them go ahead. See, it's all politics and games.
Yeah,
I don't understand why people would. You got to look at policy. Trump could be an ass. I don't care. I care about his policies.
No, you can't do that. You can't look at policy. You've got to look at his mean tweets and her wonderful laugh. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Oh my God.
So, Mike, if that's what's important to the voters, shouldn't the candidate be talking about policies instead of personalities?
I agree with you. I think the personal tax should not go. Stick to the facts, and because a lot of people are tired of all that.
Well, Trump is putting a lot of the policies out there that he's doing, but then he also gives a little jab here and there, and then all that Kamala and Tampon Tim and Putin can talk about is how bad Trump is. I mean, that's kind of where we're at with that. And I hadn't heard any policy coming out of the Harris campaign other than she supports everything that Donald Trump's planning on doing.
But she hasn't actually said that. Her people are saying that.
Well, she
don't say nothing.
That's exactly right. So in the end, she doesn't have to stand up and say, "Well, I never said that. That's not what I said."
Well, they've got it all over the internet where she has actually endorsed all this. Take all the money away from the cops, open the border, and then she's just beyond belief.
And we know how factual being on the internet
That's
is.
right.
I'm telling you, live interviews.
Just ask Alexa, Stephen.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris? Because she has a wonderful laugh. That's why Putin's endorsing her. He likes her laugh.
Well, like they talk about all the Russians are interfering. You think the Chinese aren't interfering? And
oh, no.
Everybody
No.
We interfere in other countries' elections. People forget about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a theory here, and this might be totally wrong, and Pat will make fun of me, but you got Hunter Biden said he's going to plead guilty to the charges.
Right.
Okay. So if he pleads guilty to the charges and they go ahead and charge him, then his daddy can pardon him before he leaves office.
No, I thought he already pled guilty to the tax evasion, and he's got
they
looking
throw
at
that
possibly 17 years and $1 million fine. But think about it. The only reason that he's doing that now, because he has to, because Daddy can no longer bail him out.
That's what I'm saying. So if he can get charged and get put in jail before Biden gets out of prison, Biden gets off the beach, he'll be able to
get pardoned. Yeah, possibly.
Can you imagine trying to convince Joe to do that? As you're saying, like, Dad, come on, give me a pardon. I ain't build a sandcastle. Like, Dad, seriously, focus. Like,
I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are. Who are you?
Got any ice cream? Where's the ice cream?
Crazy. I
That's
tell you
funny.
what, if the rest of us had done half of that stuff, I'd be in jail now.
I'm with you, man. Hey, I'm with you 100%. And
I got to get it going here, folks. But I
get to
appreciate
work.
y'all's show, and have a good day.
All right, man, you take care. We're going to take a short break, folks, and we appreciate Bannister Cooper Funeral Home. She couldn't be here today, so but they are up there, and they have got some plans that you need to call and check out about. I always like to let her do it because I don't know all about that stuff, and I make fun of her and pick on her
I
and
know
all
you
that.
do.
But
She's
yeah.
probably buried today and don't have time to be here with you.
Yeah, I hope she ain't buried. That's pretty bad. Anyway, we'll be right back.
And now with more news for Western North Carolina and North Georgia, I'm Jeff Batten. The Clay County Fire and Rescue folks were on the go Thursday, including a knockdown of a camper fire that spread to a Brasstown residence. Fire Chief Brian Anderson says the fire started in a mobile camper that was sitting in the driveway. It was thought to have come from the camper's dashboard. The fire then jumped to the residence, causing damage to its exterior. Firefighters put it out quickly without injury. From there, the phone kept ringing all day long for service calls. Anderson says it's just the way things go. Even as a little community in North Metro Atlanta was the scene of a horrific school shooting Wednesday, Hayesville High School was dealing with a threat of its own, though thankfully a hoax. School Superintendent Melissa Godfrey wouldn't talk specifics other than to tell WJRB, quote, there was a threat of violence and it had been neutralized. There was no threat to student safety, she says. Clay County Sheriff Mark Buchanan hints that the perpetrator was turned in by somebody else. Quote, we appreciate those who were concerned enough to reach out to the authorities, unquote. Across the line, Towns County Sheriff Ken Henderson reiterated that he and the school resource officers are ready should something like that happen in his county.
In Towns County, we are training together with all of our agencies to try to be as best prepared as we possibly can in the event that something like this were to happen.
Please download the free WJRB app. I'm Jeff Batten.
This is Tamala Cooper with Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, and I left my husband and staff unattended for a few hours, only to find out I have been given a nickname, which happens to be a rodent. In our line of work, you have to maintain a sense of humor, but I think these guys took it a little far this time. Come by and give them a hard time with me, and while you're there, let's go ahead and get your wishes in writing. Pre-planning your wishes doesn't have to be somber. We are Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, Towns County's local funeral home.
Club 66 in Young Harris is a great place to have a beer, shoot a game of pool, and meet new friends. But did you know that while you're having fun at Club 66, you're also supporting a nonprofit organization that helps out with local charities like veterans groups, toy drives, and more? Ride in to Club 66 on 2 wheels or 3 wheels and get $3 beers every day of the week. $3 beers for everyone on Saturdays. Search for Club 66 on Facebook to find out more about their events or to stop by and see them. At Club 66, they believe in God, country, and the Second Amendment.
Customers in the 828 have made George's Paint and Hardware in Hayesville their favorite shop for everything, from adhesive tape to zip ties. But we want to remind our Blairsville friends of our second location on the Blue Ridge Highway. For a limited time, visit George's during the Ultra Spec Ben Moore Paint Sale. Buy 1 gallon, get the second gallon 50% off. Make your home George's Paint and Hardware, where a friendly smile will make it worth your while. In Hayesville and Blairsville.
Constantly challenging ourselves as a college means more learning opportunities, better teaching, more innovative programs, greener facilities, a stronger community, and happier students. Every choice we've made reinforces our mission to help educate, inspire, and empower you. Young Harris College. This is the place where your future unfolds.
Appalachian Garage Doors business has increased, and we're in need of installers. We prefer someone with experience, but we offer a training program for those that are new to the trade. Excellent starting pay, paid holidays, and up to $1,000 bonus after 90 days. Call the office at 706-781-2674 or stop by 41 Lance Crossing Industrial in Blairsville, about 3/4 of a mile from Notley Dam Road or a mile south from the Georgia-North Carolina state line on Highway 129.
Boundary Waters Resort and Marina on Lake Chatuge is the #1 JC Tri-Tune dealer in the country, specializing in luxury performance tri-tunes with reliable Suzuki outboard power. As the exclusive dealer for JC Tri-Tune in the Lake Chatuge area, our professional sales and service team will get you out on the water in style. For the best selection and pricing on new and used JC Tri-Tunes in the North Georgia mountains, visit Boundary Waters Resort and Marina at bwboating.com or call 706-896-2530.
Fridays on the Dish are presented by Bannister Cooper Funeral Home in Hiawassee. The experts at Bannister Cooper will guide you through the important family conversations when it comes to making end-of-life arrangements for a loved one. Yes, we're Towns County's funeral home, but we're welcome to all. And now, back to the Morning Dish.
All righty, folks, we're coming to you sideways. We got Sherry Raines in here with us this morning. We just love it.
Are you being
No, I'm not.
sarcastic?
No, Lord,
Steven?
no. You know, I actually invited you over today. You said you couldn't make it yesterday. I said, come Friday.
Couldn't. I had a staff shortage yesterday, and I had to go into the office, so sorry about that.
No
I made
problem.
up for it today. I actually texted Steven last night. I'm like, do you really need me? Or are you going to have a room full of people like usual? Do you really need me? I'm all alone.
No, I'm all alone.
Where's
just
Tommy?
gonna be me and you.
Think
I
of
don't
people
know
coming
where
in.
Tommy's
Where's Tommy at?
Tommy don't even know where he's at. He's across the country playing music,
He's
selling
got a
moonshine.
lot going on over there with Grand Danny Bims. Though,
He's
doesn't
busy.
They've
He
got a lot
really is.
going on.
I mean, that thing has grown into a monster. Yeah.
I heard something about they did a dinner in the creek. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, that's
pretty
craziest
cool.
thing I ever seen.
That's a cool idea.
Drinking up moonshine, man, you may just end up eating in a creek. I mean, I've been there.
Laying in the creek anyway.
When you fall off your chair, I guess it softens the fall when you hit the water. But that was
not in my creek. It's full of rocks.
I've never seen anything like that. Folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, they had a big thing with Granddaddy Mims last week. I guess it was.
I think so.
And they set all the tables in this little creek.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
everybody
cool.
went and
How much
had-
moonshine they have to feed them to get them in the creek?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it looked really neat. But I was sitting there in my mind, I'm thinking, boy, I bet your feet was cold.
I was just thinking that'd be a good way to get your feet washed because they kind of need
Do they?
it.
Can you smell them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Saturday's bath night, so we should be fine. Tell me something now. Early voting. When does early voting start? I understand that maybe North Carolina's getting kicked off here pretty quick.
Yeah, they are pretty soon. I think it's within the next week or so. I think they're mailing the ballots out today if there's no appeal because Kennedy was trying to get off the ballot after fighting to get on the ballot. Now he's trying to get off the ballot, and a judge overruled taking him off the ballot because the ballot's already printed, and we don't want to have to reprint those ballots.
Well, can't you just get somebody, like some of them folks that, actually when they go through the ballots and seeing who voted for Trump, when they throw them out, they could just mark off.
Yeah, when they're pre-marking them, they could just go ahead and take his name off.
Yeah, just mark through it.
When they're pre-filling them out.
Yeah, they could just mark through his name.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a concern, though. Hey, Patrick, what do you think that's going to do to the election if he's still on the ballot in a few states?
I don't think it'll change much. I don't think he's going to have much impact one way or another, quite frankly.
Don't you think, well, I hate to say this, but don't you think most people have enough common sense to know he's not actually running for president anymore and a vote would be a waste?
That would be risky for me to say yes. I agree that. Because I don't believe that's the case. I mean, common sense is not a flower that grows in everybody's garden.
Yeah, Pat. We know.
Oh, jeez. Becky.
Sorry.
Don't you have a birthday party or a Lord of Rings event to go to?
That's tonight, dude.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm free until about 8 o'clock.
I knew you had something.
Yeah.
You and the hobbits.
So they're mailing out the
If
They're
there's no,
mailing the absentee
in
ballots.
now I'm talking about North Carolina. I understand those are supposed to go out at noon today if there's no appeal to the judge's
Yes.
decision.
But I don't get that. Like, what if like
correct.
hypothetically, like they put him on the ballot, like you have to stay on the ballot, and then he wins. It's like, but I don't want to be president. It's like they could like force you to be on the ballot now. I don't
There's
know.
very little chance of winning when you're
No, I
only
know,
on the
but I'm
ballot
just
in a
saying,
few
like
states.
you have to be on it.
Because I think it's North Carolina, Michigan. There's like what 3 or 4 states, Pat. I can't remember that they left him on the
Yeah,
ballot.
there's a handful of states that won't take him off.
Pause for just a second.
So-
Though. So you said, so do we do paper ballots or no?
Well, apparently North Carolina
Well,
is
if
doing.
you do mail-in, if you've requested an absentee,
Okay.
you're going to do paper.
Because how many would we
If
have
you
to
go to
reprint
the- if you-
technically? Because I thought we didn't do mass mail. I thought we didn't do like paper ballots are stupid, right? So what are we printing? You know, why do I have to reprint them and everything if it's just some of the mail-ins?
Well,
and
how would you propose they do absentee
I thought we
voting
do them
without
on
a
like the
paper ballot?
computers now.
Yeah, because that's fail-safe.
Yeah. Because you can't hack the
That'd work
computer.
really well.
Well, I still remember 4 years ago when I had a ballot that I didn't apply for
Right.
come to my mailbox.
Well, they do that. Anybody that applies for food stamps or anything
Well,
like
I
that,
haven't applied for any of those
they
things.
automatically send them out.
What are you trying to say, Steve?
Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
just saying
The last time they did that was because of the pandemic.
Oh, so if there's a pandemic, you don't have to go by the rules. I got you.
Yeah, that's
that
the
makes
whole,
sense.
no big deal.
We can just skirt election law if there's a pandemic.
But
I
I also got a ballot from my mother who was deceased. So how do you explain that one?
I don't know.
You didn't take her off the rolls.
Actually,
how does the election people know that your mother died?
Ain't they supposed to be smart like that? I mean, they got Alexa listening to us. They got cars listening to us. They should know all this
so when
stuff.
you go file the death certificate with the county and do all the things you're supposed to do,
I don't think it cross checks with the election board.
why wouldn't it? Why shouldn't it? But rather,
It should, but I don't know that it does.
That always reminds
why
me.
do we have to every other year? Why do we have to purge the rolls of people who are no longer eligible or have moved?
Or illegal aliens. Illegal aliens. Can we say that
Oh,
now? Or what they
Jesus.
call
yes, politically incorrect, Stephen.
Politically incorrect.
They're displaced persons.
I always remember back when I was just a little fella. I went with my dad to vote up there in Hiawassee, and this man was coming out, and you know how Daddy's like me. He talks to everybody. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "Man, I ain't doing no good at all." Like, Daddy asked him what's wrong. He said, "Well, my dad come up here and voted. Didn't even come by to see me. Said he'd been dead 3 years." That's pretty bad when your dad just shows up to vote and won't even come see
And
you.
I heard something this morning, and I don't know if I misheard this or not, but if somebody can clarify for me.
I'll clarify.
I hear that well, not you, Stephen, anybody but Stephen. I hear that in California they're going to be giving $150,000 toward buying a home to immigrants.
Yes.
Illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Is that actually
$25,000 down
no,
payment?
$150,000 is what I heard. So
Well, I know
please
it was
correct me if
$25,000.
I'm wrong here.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm hoping I misheard that. I mean,
No,
people
you
can't
didn't.
afford to live in that state so badly so that they're moving away. I don't understand this.
Well, it's
Where would that money come from? Because that state has got I don't know how
That's a
many
good
billion
question.
dollars.
I'm
of
feeling
debt.
pretty Mexican if you ask me, man.
Yeah, you-
Necesito un
Okay,
nueva
Paco.
hogar.
burrito.
So we're going to change Packy's name to Paco.
Paco, sí. Mucho dinero, por favor.
No
I didn't know you
trabajo.
knew.
No trabajo.
Oh,
No
well.
work.
That's right.
Well, I don't know. Biden admits
What you
that
call
the,
me?
Biden has admitted that the Inflation Reduction Act was wrongly named. Wrongly named.
No.
He said they should have named it what it was. That's what he said.
Right. They had $369 billion for green energy.
Yep.
So it's named wrong.
But they made him name. I wonder if we're not going to see a lot of information, if Joe can remember it, if we're not going to see a lot of truth come out the next few months, or maybe even after he's out of office, about the things that he was basically made to do.
Well, he's out of office to begin with.
Well,
And there's nobody in control right now, so it can't be that big a deal.
it's kind of like when you're driving a car.
Absolutely. I just close my eyes and hold the
Yeah.
paddle down. But what would I guess it's the Green Energy Act is what it is. Instead
Well,
of
and
the,
they've still got a pretty good chunk of money, I believe, sitting there, and that they're
$700 billion.
They're trying to rush to spend it, give it away real quick before
Well, they'll send it
the
to
end of the
Ukraine.
year. So
yeah.
I don't know.
But now Harris is saying, "Oh, this worked. It worked. It worked." And Harry was making fun of me when I said that gas prices are up. Oh, it was just $2.89.